So this diagram provides an overview of all the key requirements for data center elements. So first one we have is the availability, which ensures that the information should be available as and when it is required. Data center should ensure information availability all the time. The next key requirement we have is the security. So data center should ensure the data or the information that is stored is secured by preventing unauthorized access. The next key requirement here we have is the capacity. The data center should provide additional capacity without disrupting the ongoing business operations or with minimal disruption. Then we have the scalability. The data centers should be scalable, like adding new servers or introducing new application without disrupting the ongoing business operations. Then we have the performance. All the elements of the data center should work at an optimal level of performance based upon the different levels of service. Then we have the data integrity, which ensures that the data should not be modified when it is being stored in the data centers. Data should be retrieved exactly as it was stored. And lastly, the key requirement for the data center is the manageability. All the components of a data center should be managed centrally, easily, and the best way to achieve this is by automating most of the common tasks, thereby reducing the human interventions. So these are all the key requirements essential for data center elements. Cloud computing brings in a fully automated request fulfillment process that enables users to rapidly obtain storage and other IT resources on demand. So whenever there's a demand for storage or other IT resources, so the cloud can provide these. First activity is monitoring. Monitoring is the continuous collection of information and the review of the entire data center infrastructure. The aspects of data center that are monitored include security, performance, accessibility, and capacity. All these aspects of the data center should be monitored continuously. The second key activity in managing the storage infrastructure is reporting. Reporting is done periodically on resource performance, capacity, and utilization. Reporting tasks helps to establish business justification and chargeback of costs associated with data center operations. And the third key activity of managing the storage infrastructure is provisioning. Provisioning is the process of providing the hardware, software, and other resources needed to run a data center. Provisioning activities include capacity and resource planning. Capacity planning ensures that the users and the application's future needs will be addressed in the most cost-effective and controlled manner. Resource planning is the process of evaluating and identifying the required resources such as personnel, the facility or the site, and the technology. Resource planning ensures that adequate resources are available to meet user and application requirements. So provisioning is the process of providing the hardware, software, and other resources required to run a data center. It includes two major activities, that is capacity planning and resource planning, where capacity planning ensures that the users and applications future needs will be addressed in the most cost effective and controlled manner, and the resource planning is the process of evaluating and identifying the required resources such as the personnel, the facility, and the technology. It also ensures that the adequate resources are available to meet the user and application requirements. Let us now look at the challenges in managing the information. There are three major challenges in managing the information. First challenge is exploding digital universe. So what this means is the digital universe is continuously growing. So there's a multifold increase in information growth. More and more information is getting added to this digital universe. So that is a huge challenge, managing all these information in the digital universe. Second challenge is increasing dependency on information. Almost every business, almost every individual is getting more and more dependent upon the information. The strategic use of information plays an important role. So how to manage the information that is required by the businesses or the individuals, so deciding that is also a huge challenge. And lastly, a huge challenge is changing value of information. Information that is valuable today may become less important tomorrow. A very simple example is a viral post on a social media. It remains viral for a given duration of time, say a week or a month, and after that, that data becomes old. It no longer remains a viral post. So information that is valuable today may be of no value tomorrow. So tracking this change in the value of information, that is also a huge challenge. Let us now try to briefly understand what do we mean by virtualization. Virtualization is a technique of abstracting physical resources such as compute, storage, and network and making them appear as logical resources. What this means is, rather than having a physical server, we can create virtual servers. Rather than relying or having only physical storage, we can create multiple virtual storage devices or virtual networks. Virtualization enables pooling of resources and providing an aggregation view of the physical resource capabilities. It also enables centralized management of pooled resources. Virtual resources can be created and provisioned from the pooled physical resources. So virtualization basically is used to abstract the physical resources such as the servers, storage, and the networks by implementing virtual servers, virtual storage, and virtual networks and making them appear as logical resources rather than physical resources. The next topic is cloud computing. Let us briefly understand what we mean by cloud computing. Cloud computing enables individuals or businesses to use IT resources as a service over the network. It provides highly scalable and flexible computing that enables provisioning of resources on demand. Users can scale up or scale down the demand of computing resources, including storage capacity, with minimal management effort or storage provider interaction. It empowers self-service requesting through a fully automated request fulfillment process. It enables consumption-based metering. Cloud infrastructure is usually built upon virtualized data centers. So we need not worry about the amount of storage devices that or storage capacity that is required, the amount of processing power that is required if you are using these cloud services. So cloud service is basically a metered service. So you pay based upon what you are using. So cloud computing enables individuals or businesses to use IT resources as a service over the network. Now that we have reached the end of chapter 1, let us summarize the topics that we have discussed so far. Initially, we understood why is information storage required. We defined what is data, what are the categories of data, what do we mean by big data, what is information, and so on. Then we understood how did the storage architecture evolve from server-centric storage architecture to information-centric storage architecture. And then we discussed the components of a data center, which includes application, DBMS, storage, network, and so on. We also understood the key requirements of a data center, which includes availability, capacity, manageability, and so on. And at the end, we briefly discussed what is virtualization and cloud computing as well. With this, let us conclude this lecture 1 of the lecture series on storage area networks. Thank you.